Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something super useful: common English grammar mistakes.
Yeah, the kind of things that can easily trip you up.
Exactly. Think of this as your friendly guide, really, to making your English even clearer. We've gathered, a bunch of these everyday errors.
Things that even people who've spoken English for ages might sometimes slip up on.
Right. So our goal, our mission, if you like, is to point them out and give you simple ways to remember the right way. Sound good?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Okay, let's jump in with a really, really common one. Mistake, #1. Confusing its and its.
Oh yeah, this one is everywhere.
It really is. You see it pop up all over the place. For instance, someone might write, "The cat chased its toy," with the apostrophe.
Right, and that little mark, the apostrophe, it actually changes the meaning quite a bit.
It does. The correct way, of course, is "the cat chased its toy." No apostrophe there. So what's the big deal with this tiny mark?
Well, basically, it's without the apostrophe, that shows possession. It means something belongs to it.
Like ownership.
Exactly. Like his or her, but for a thing or an animal. The toy belongs to the cat, so it's toy.
Okay, that makes sense. It's toy. Now what about its with that little apostrophe? The one that looks like a comma hanging in the air?
Well, that's different. That's a shortcut. It's what we call a contraction.
A contraction, right.
Yeah. It's just a quick way of saying either it is or sometimes it has.
Ah, okay. So examples.
Sure. If you say, "It's a beautiful day," you really mean it is a beautiful day.
Got it.
And if you say something like, "It's been fun," you mean it has been fun.
That clears it up nicely. So it really boils down to, are you showing ownership, or are you shortening "it is" or "it has"?
Precisely.
Okay, listener, let's try this out. Give these sentences a go after me. First, the incorrect one. The cat chased its toy. Pause here. Now the correct one. The cat chased its toy. Pause here. Feel a difference? Hope so. Okay, let's move on. Mistake, #2. Subject-verb agreement with third-person singular.
Ooh, sounds a bit technical maybe.
It does sound a bit grammar nerdy, but it's actually quite fundamental. It's all about making sure your verbs match who or what is doing the action.
Right. And the key thing here is noticing how verbs sometimes need to change their form. It depends on the subject of the sentence.
Totally. Here's a classic example we often hear. She walked to school every day. Something's a bit off, isn't it?
Feels a little incomplete.
Yeah. The correct way is, she walks to school every day. See that little S on the end of walks?
That S, it's important. Usually that S gets added to the verb when your subject is singular, just one person or thing, like he, she, or it.
Right.
And you're talking about the present tense, something happening regularly. He eats, she sings, it sleeps,
Okay, yeah, that clicks for singular subjects. He, she, it, add the S. But what about when we're talking about more than one thing? Plural subjects.
Good question.
Here's an example. The birds flies south for the winter. Again, that sounds a little strange to my ear.
It does.
The correct sentence is, the birds fly south for the winter. Notice, no S this time on fly.
Exactly. So when your subject is plural, like birds or cars or they or we, the verb in the present tense usually doesn't get that S.
So they play, not plays. We read, not reads. The students study, not studies.
Correct. It's almost like the opposite of making nouns plural where you add an S. Verbs often lose it for plural subjects in the present.
It is a bit counterintuitive at first, isn't it? You just have to remember the pattern.
You do. Practice helps.
Definitely. All right, listener, let's practice these two. Repeat after me. Incorrect first. She walked to school every day. Pause here. Correct. She walks to school every day. Pause here. Okay, now the plural one. Incorrect. The birds fly south for the winter. Pause here. Pause here. Great. You're really getting the hang of this. Let's dive into our third point. Mistake. #3. Using the wrong preposition with depend.
Prepositions. Those little words like on, in, at, of, they could be surprisingly tricky.
They really can be fussy sometimes. And depend is one of those verbs that usually likes to hang out with a specific partner.
It definitely has a preferred buddy, yes.
So here's how you might hear it used incorrectly. The trip depends of the weather. Does that sound right to you?
Not quite. It feels a bit awkward.
Yeah. The correct way, the much more natural way to say it is, the trip depends on the weather. So on is the winner here.
That's the one. Generally, when you're saying that something relies on or is conditional upon something else, The preposition that follows depend is almost always on.
So, like, my decision depends on the information I receive.
Yep, or whether we have the picnic depends on the rain.
Simple enough when you know the rule. Just pair depend with on.
Pretty much.
Okay, your turn again, listener. Let's try these. Incorrect. The trip depends of the weather. Pause here. Correct. The trip depends on the weather. Pause here. Pause here. Excellent. Okay, moving right along to mistake, #4. Run-on sentences. Specifically, we'll look at what's called a fused sentence.
Right, run-ons. These happen when ideas get, well, sort of crammed together without the right punctuation.
Exactly. A fused sentence is when you have two complete thoughts, two independent clauses, just stuck together with nothing in between, like this. I fell asleep. The TV woke me up.
See? Two separate ideas there.
Yeah.
I fell asleep. That's a complete thought. And the TV woke me up. That's another complete thought.
They're just jammed together, fused. How do we fix that?
Well, the simplest way is often just to separate them, make them two distinct sentences, use a period.
So the correct version would be, I fell asleep, the TV woke me up, full stop in between.
Perfect. Nice and clear. Two separate sentences for two separate ideas. There are other ways, like using a semicolon or a comma with a conjunction, but a period is often the easiest fix.
Got it. Okay, listener, let's practice this one. Hear the run-on. I fell asleep, the TV woke me up. Pause here. Now hear the corrected version. I fell asleep, the TV woke me up. Pause here. Much clearer, right? Let's tackle mistake, #5, confusing your and your, another classic pair.
Oh, yes. Very similar to its and its in terms of confusion potential.
Definitely. You might see someone write, you're beautiful, meaning to give a compliment.
Right, but that spelling Y-O-U-R actually means something different.
It does. The correct way to write that compliment is, you're beautiful, with the apostrophe R-E.
So let's break it down. Your, Y-O-U-R, shows possession again. It means something belongs to you.
Like, is this your coat? Or, I like your ideas, belonging to you.
Exactly. Whereas your Y-O-U apostrophe R-E is just like, it's a contraction.
A shortcut for.
You are. So you're beautiful literally means you are beautiful.
Simple test then. If you can replace the word with you are and it still makes sense, you need your. If not, it's probably your.
That's a great tip. Works every time.
All right, listener, your turn to practice this pair. Incorrect. You're beautiful. Pause here. Correct. You're beautiful. Pause here. Fantastic. Okay, number 6 on our list, mistake, #6, past simple versus past participle after modals.
Another one that sounds a bit technical, but it's about using the right verb form after certain helping verbs.
Right. We're talking about modal verbs here. Words like could, should, will, might, must.
Mm-hmm. Helping verbs that express possibility, obligation, intention, things like that.
So here's a common mistake. I could play basketball when I was younger. Something sounds off there.
Yeah, the played with the ed ending doesn't fit after could.
Exactly. The correct sentence is, I could play basketball when I was younger, just the base form of the verb.
That's the key rule here. After modal verbs like could, should, will, must, might, you almost always use the base form of the main verb, the infinitive without to.
So not the past tense form ending in ed and not the ing form either, just the simple basic verb.
Right. She will go, not she will goes, or she will went. We must finish, not we must finished. He should study, not he should studies.
Got it. Base form after modals. Okay, listener, let's try this. Incorrect. I could played basketball. Pause here. Correct. I could play basketball. Pause here. Perfect. Just one more common mistake for today's deep dive. Mistake, #7, spelling a lot.
This one's purely about spelling, but it catches so many people out.
It really does. How often do you see a lot written as one word? Like, I have a lot of work to do.
All the time. But here's the thing. A lot written as one single word. Well, it's not actually a word in standard English.
Not a real word. Shocking. So the correct way is always.
Two separate words. A and lot, like a space lot. So it should be, I have a lot of work to do.
Or, she likes him a lot. Always 2 words.
Always 2 words. Just remember, A is one word, lot is another. Keep them separate.
Easy peasy once you know it. Okay, listener, one last practice. Incorrect example. A lot of people as 1 word. Pause here. Correct example. A lot of people as 2 words. Pause here. And that wraps up our 7 common mistakes for today.
Phew. We covered quite a bit there.
We did. So, just to quickly recap, we unpacked 7 common English grammar mistakes. First, confusing its and its. Remember, its means it is or it has.
Then subject-verb agreement, especially adding that S for singular subjects like he, she, it in the present tense, but not for plural subjects.
Right. Then the correct preposition with depend, usually on.
Yep. And fused run-on sentences needing that period or proper connection between complete thoughts.
Then we had confusing your and your. Your means you are.
And using the base form of the verb after modals like could, should, will. So could play, not could played.
And finally, the correct spelling of a lot, always 2 words.
We looked at incorrect and correct examples for all of them, and hopefully the explanations were nice and simple.
Yeah, the goal was clarity. And, just becoming aware of these things is a huge step.
Absolutely. Practice makes perfect, as they say.
It really does. So what's next? Well, in our next deep dive, we're going to tackle some more tricky word pairs in English.
Oh, like homophones and commonly confused words?
Exactly. Think of words like affect and effect, advice and advise, or maybe lose and loose. Yeah. Those kinds of pairs.
Ah, good ones. Those can definitely cause headaches.
They can. So we'll help you sort them out to make sure you can choose the right word every time.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to ponder before next time. Which of these 7 mistakes we talked about today do you find yourself making, or maybe noticing others make?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, just thinking about which ones resonate with you is a great way to start cementing the corrections in your mind. What trips you up? Identifying it is half the battle, really.
That's excellent advice. Think about that and join us next time for more English insights. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.